Okay, so I figured I would give you guys a little tour of my plants, my house plants. So I'm gonna start off on one side of my house and work my way to the other side. Okay, so here we are in my office, which is a mess right now because this is where I'm doing most of my work when I'm teaching and making YouTube videos for my students. I have like a whole box of books over there and a bunch of equipment and just all kinds of stuff. So we'll start over here. This is one plant that I have. I don't have many plants in here because there's not great lighting, I guess, and I kind of would forget about the plants that I did have in here. I forgot about this one a couple times. And Fittonia, this is a Fittonia. They're very sensitive. They like water. If you don't water them, they will pass out and just wilt completely, kind of like this little leaf, but the whole thing. So I can't have too many plants in here because I forget about them. But if you forget about a Fittonia for a couple days and then you water it, it should be fine. This one came back to life. There's my desk. And then that's the dining room. I have a shelf over here with a whole bunch of stuff on it, but one plant, this little teeny tiny snake plant. It's so tiny. I got it at IKEA. It's the tiniest snake plant I've ever seen. It's like literally inside of a shot glass. Sansevieria. But yeah, it's really super tiny. So I have that. I have this dying something amaryllis, one of those spring flowers. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's dying. I'm probably not going to plant it outside. This is a strawberry begonia. It used to be a lot healthier before the winter time. I had a lot of the little dangly things. You can kind of see the little strings there that don't have any more dangly things on them. I had a lot of those, but not anymore. So I just hung it in this window today again from this lovely macrame. Because it was not getting a lot of light, so I put it back here. And this is a west-facing window, so the sun's kind of setting right now, and since we're like at sea level, there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into it. I could make so many videos just talking about plants, but it's okay to have it in a west-facing window because in Massachusetts we're like right at sea level, so the sun's not too bright, especially before the summer. So this is Dieffenbachia or dumb cane. Sometimes I keep the little tags in there so you can see what it is. And then I have this really yucky fungus gnat trap because another fun part about having plants is that you get fungus gnats. And then I think this is a peperomia. Some kind, yes. Teardrop peperomia. I think it's variegated too. Variegation means it's got like the little white, the different colors on the leaves. And then I have this Dracaena? Nope. Yeah, Dracaena sanderiana. So there's like a bunch of different kinds. This is Dracaena sanderiana. So those are the plants that I have in my office. And then if we go out here to the dining room, it's kind of a mess. I have this little corner with, this is just a marble pothos, marble queen pothos. These are really common and they don't mind being in low light situations, so this corner doesn't get a ton of light. I have another Fittonia. I forget what this one is. Juanita? Or is that the other one? Frankie. This one's Frankie. Fittonia argonera. Yeah. So I have that. I have another pothos that I started from cuttings from my mom's pothos at her house that I grew up with. It was in our house all the time, so I took some cuttings when I got my own house. And then I have a little propagation station right here with some vases, a neon pothos, couple cuttings, and then I have a string of bananas cutting and a string of pearls cutting, but I just repotted the rest that were over here. So there's the plants that are there. And then on my dining room table, I have this little aloe that my dad's girlfriend gave me. Hello, Sharon, if you're watching. And then I have this Aglaonema. And I started these little Burrows tails from some cuttings that I bought on Etsy. So I bought them, I think it was from Etsy. I bought them and then I plucked off the little bottom pieces, like these little green leaves. I had a lot more, but a lot of them shriveled up and died. But just today I was noticing, these have been in here for like months now. See if you can see it. This guy has a couple little little babies coming up. So we're gonna have some little Burrow's tail babies soon, hopefully, and hopefully they'll be as big as these guys, but these are very slow growers, so it's gonna take a while. So that's the table. In the window, I have a string of bananas that's getting very, very long. I bought it at Home Depot when we first bought the house. This was one of my first plants, and it was so tiny, and now it's like really long. Wow, I just tripped. And then I have a Majesty Palm over here. This is my second Majesty Palm because the other one died. Probably because I didn't water it enough, and then I repotted it, and I think it got root rot. I don't know. They're really finicky, so second Majesty Palm. And then this is my prized Monstera Deliciosa that I got, I think, at Home Depot or Lowe's when we first moved in. This was another one of my first plants. And I have it in a planter from IKEA, like a planter basket that comes with a little plastic insert. And then I have the bigger version down here because I think I'm going to repot it soon. And I also got a moss pole so I can stake it up to my moss pole to stop it from growing out in this direction. I'm going to stake it up so that it will grow up towards the ceiling, hopefully. And then we have this plant over here. I think this is a satin pothos or a Scindapsus. I think it's Scindapsus. I've had this one for a while now too, in this planter that my Uncle Gary bought me when it was for my birthday or for just a housewarming gift. It's very nice, love it. And then I just put this Boston fern up here today. We'll see how it does. It's already a little bit crispy. So we'll see if we like it up there. We'll see what happens. And then the kitchen. I have my string of pearls over here because I just sprayed it with neem oil today to fend off any pests or anything that it has going on. So we'll see. These are really tricky too. This is my second one. I killed the first one by repotting it and then watering it way too much. So if you have these, don't do anything to them. Just put them on a table and leave them alone. This is my other prized possession. I got this one, some cuttings on Amazon, and I thought that it had mosaic virus at first. You can see the leaf kind of looks like really weird, but I think it's just spray of some kind, like you know, an insecticide or something that they used at the greenhouse. I got this as a cutting of like 5 leaves, and I planted it, and it's doing great. I also have it in a little thing of a tray of water. This is how I water my plants. I have 2 of these bowls, and I bottom water so that they don't get too wet because you will get fungus gnats like we saw on the other plant. And then I just have this little spider plant baby from, I think this came from my mom's spider plant or maybe a friend's that gave me a baby, but the other one's died. This one seems to be doing pretty well, so I'm just leaving it. Well, not well, but when I tried to take it out of the pot, it wouldn't let go. Its roots were way too big, so we'll see. And then I have this little air plant over here. It's not in soil. It just grows like that. You just have to soak them every once in a while. And then I have a croton up here. I think this is like a starfire? No, a gold star croton. I like that one, and this little cute planter that I got at Target. Ooh, top of my fridge is gross. And then I have this teardrop peperomia, pilea. Oh, I always get those two mixed up. I think it's a teardrop peperomia. The pileas are the other ones. And then on the tops of my cabinets, I have a Hoya. I forgot which kind it is. I don't think it's DS70. I forgot. Another snake plant, a Dracaena, Chaemodora elegans, parlor palm, and then I forget what this one is. Some type of palm tree, and then a little pot of some of my spider plant babies that are doing better than the one on the microwave. Another golden pothos that I got at Market Basket for I think like $11, and I also got this philodendron from Market Basket for like $11 too, and it's doing really well. It's growing down here onto our engagement photo, and it's actually starting to wrap around the side of the wall over here, so that's pretty cool. And then way up there I have a Hope philodendron, which has been recently renamed. It's reclassified, so it's actually not a Hope philodendron anymore. I forgot what the name of it is now. I love learning all the scientific names, and sometimes they get reclassified and they change, so it's hard to keep up, but I do try to know the scientific names and classifications for the plants as well as like the common names. So Philodendron Hope is what that was. I think it's like Spathiphyllum something now. I don't know. So that's the kitchen dining room area. Oh, and then I have another marble pothos over here. Oh, and 2 more up there. I have these little guys. I have a Philodendron Brazil, which is the one on the left. I love it. And then I just have some cuttings from another pothos that I had. I think that was from my mom's at her house. So then moving on to the living room, to the right, we have, I love these little macrame hangers. I just got these from Amazon and some from Michael's, and I just really love them. I'm not creative, well, I'm creative, but I'm not crafty enough to make my own, and I get really frustrated with that type of thing, so I don't even want to try. So this is a string of turtles that I found for like $11 or $12 at Home Depot, which is such a score. I don't even know. You have no idea. Like, string of turtles, to find that for $11 in this size, wow. And then I have this neon pothos, which is just beautiful. I love it, in a macrame that I got at Michael's. And this string of dolphins. If you look really closely, like, they actually look like dolphins. I found that one for $11 too. I think the same day. No, not the same day as the string of turtles. That was a different plant. But I love these little dolphin looking plants, and I love the string of plants, like Senecio and all that, Senecio rallianus, all that stuff. So yeah, so string of dolphins. And then down here I have a humidifier that's not on right now, but this is my humidifier for my plants. I'll get to that in a second. These plants are doing really well. These are my air plants, and they thrive off of humidity in the air. So since they're right next to the humidifier all the time, they're doing great. And this one is actually like putting out a flower. So I have a couple other ones in there. I have this ivy, 100% do not recommend ivy. I hate it. I'm just trying to save it. This is like my 3rd ivy that I've had. And they all die because they're highly susceptible to spider mites. So if you have ivy, watch out for that. I'm treating this one with neem oil, and I'm keeping it away from everything else. I don't really think it's going to work out, but we're trying. And I have this one. Oh god, it's even worse. This one I think has spider mites too. This is oh my gosh. Why am I blanking so hard right now? I know what it's called, I swear. I'm just gonna pick it up by this, because honestly I think this one's a goner. Oh yeah, Calathea ornata. That's right, it's a Calathea. So I got this one at Jordan's Jungle, and it was fine for a little bit, and then I didn't even have it near this one. I don't know what happened. It just all of a sudden started to shrivel up like this, and somebody said it was probably spider mites. So I'm treating this one with neem oil and keeping it away from everything else. And then I have a begonia. I forgot what kind of begonia this is called. I got this one at a little nursery in Mattapoisett. I think it was Eden, but I really love that one. And then I have this lovely Calathea mosaica, Calathea network. Love it. The leaves are just so pretty. Love that pattern. And then I have the cuttings from the neon pothos that I just potted. I have a little cutting. I actually had a bigger plant of this in my classroom. This one right here. This is a Maranta prayer plant, Maricela prayer plant, and it reminded me one of my students from last year. That was her name, so I had to buy it, and I put it in my classroom, and then it started to like take off like crazy. So I took a little cutting, and I'm glad I did, because the one in my classroom kind of started to not do so well over there, and then I had to leave it because we had to shut down because of coronavirus and everything. So right now it's at a friend's house. Hi, Lynn, if you're watching, thank you for taking care of my plants. Sorry if that one dies, it's okay. If they all die, it's okay. It's fine. I have like a million, as you can clearly tell. So then I have another begonia that I got for $1 because the woman that was working in the plant section at Lowe's, these were on clearance, and she was like, oh, if you want, I'll mark it down to $1 for you, because they've just been sitting in water, and I don't think they really like to do that. So it was all brown and like disgusting, and it looked like it was dying because they were never letting them dry out, because they have these little things on the bottom, the wick, $1, the little wick thing. And so if it's always constantly sitting in a tray of water at Home Depot or Lowe's, it's constantly sitting in water and the roots are constantly wet and it's probably rotting. So I took it home, let it dry out, and it's doing a lot better. Okay, we're back. Sorry, I had to take off my sweatshirt. I'm getting all sweaty talking about my plants. So anyway, down here I have a couple of like regular, I forget what these are called. They're prayer plants, Maranta. They're the ones with the red vein on them. I don't remember the exact name. Sorry. I killed the mother plant, actually. It was one of the first plants that I bought. And I took cuttings, thank goodness, because this is all that's left of the original plant. I'm probably just going to throw it out because it's really not doing too hot. So I have these 2 cuttings that are doing much better. I have this purple passion. If you can see, the leaves are purple, especially when you look at it in different angles, which is really cool. And then I have this crispy wave fern that I got during Christmas time at Market Basket. I really love Market Basket for their plants. Who knew? They have such great plants, especially if you're like just starting out and you need some of those staples like a giant philodendron for your kitchen or something like that. And then down here I found this little Peperomia obtusifolia variegata, it says. I don't know, I'm not seeing too much variegation on it, but we'll see what happens. And then I have another croton. This is just like the one, not just like, but it's the same kind. This one and this one are both crotons. You can kind of see the similarities, the colors, the leaves are really thick. And so I have these 2, this croton here and this one. This is called a Luna croton. And they're kind of hard sometimes. This one, like, the leaves fall off and it's got a little bit of new growth down here, but like a leaf will just fall off with absolutely no warning. I don't know what it wants. Nobody knows what it wants. Maybe you do. Here we have a little wandering dude, or a red hill Tradescantia zebrina. You might know it by another name, but we're going to call it a wandering dude. And then we also have Florida Beauty right here. Dracaena. This is a Dracaena, so it's actually in the same, I forget whether that's like plant, like family or phylum or whatever it is. I'm terrible at this. I need to get better. And then I have this little meter. My humidity is really low. I try to keep the humidity over here at about 50%, and then it also tells me the temperature. So that's why I have all of these plants crowded together on top of my dog's kennel, because I keep the humidifier right here and I run it a lot so that the humidity is like constantly at 50%, because these are a lot of my humidity loving plants and they just really like it to be humid. And also there's kind of some nice sunlight over here, so a lot of them, especially on the front row here, like these in the front like a lot of sun, and then these back here don't really like as much. So I have a Kalanchoe, I'm not really sure how to say it. It's I had it in a cloche, like the bell jar that I'll show you in a minute, but it started to rot, so I don't think it really enjoyed that very much, and it's a succulent type of plant, so it probably wants to dry out a little more. So I moved it over here and I traded it with something else. Then I have some string of dolphins cuttings that fell off when I was transplanting the other one into the macrame. This is my original polka dot plant that I got. It's looking so much better than when I first got it. And I think like I nearly killed this thing, but they do like a lot of humidity and a lot of bright light. And then I'm trying to grow some lavender. I think this was from, I don't even know where I got it. Like, I don't even know, but I'm trying to grow some lavender from seeds and it's not really working. So we'll see how that goes. And then up here, I have my Bonnie spider plant. This one's different than a regular spider plant. If you can see, it's like, it's curly. So I really like these. I've never had one of these before. We just had a regular spider plant when I was growing up. And then over here, this one I got at the same time as the string of turtles. This one was like $12 too. This is a Hoya Hindu rope, or a Hoya carnosa compacta variegata. And it's variegated. It means it's got the little white or light green pieces. This is a really cool plant. It's a slow grower, but I'm so happy to have it, and I can't believe I found one for that price. It was absolutely insane. It was the only one there, so obviously I snagged it. And then coming down here on top of our little space heater that we have, it's in front of a door that we never use. And we don't really get a ton of light. Sometimes in the afternoon, like we'll get some light coming from like this direction, which we're getting a little bit of right now. But these plants don't really need a lot of light anyways. So I have the Pilea involucrata, I don't know, Pan Am down here. Just a type of Pilea. And then I have a peace lily right here that's doing pretty well. This was one of the first plants I got also. This one's doing well, it's flowering, and these just like a lot of water, so it'll tell you too when it needs to be watered. It just like passes out like a Photonia and totally faints, so you'll know when it needs to be watered. Then I have this little, what's this? The Moon Valley Friendship plant, Pilea mollis. So this is another Pilea, and then I have them in these little cute face planters that I got at the Christmas tree shop, and this one back here is from Ocean State Job Lot. Those are like two of the best places to get planters if you live in New England. And then over here I have a Pearls and Jade pothos it's just doing its thing. I don't know, it's kind of growing a little bit better now, but it hasn't really grown at all since I got it. And then I have I think this is a ruby necklace. Let's see. Oh geez. Yeah, ruby necklace. What's it called? Little Pickle. What's the actual name? Othana capensis? I don't know, but it's a ruby necklace or little pickle, and they do kind of look like little pickles. And then I have this lipstick plant over here. The sun's on the other side of the house, so it's not easy to see, but when the sun is out and when it comes up, it rises on the east, which is in this direction. So it rises and we just get full sun through this window, like mostly all day. I have a Rainbow Symphony sun catcher in here. We get a lot of rainbows. It's really cool. And then down here is where a lot more of my plants are besides on the dog crate. So I'll try to go really quick. I have like some kind of Dracaena back there. I forget what it's called. A little fern over here that I got during Christmas time. Another Pilea, not Pilea, I'm sorry. Another Peperomia. Maybe the one on top of the fridge is a Pilea. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I don't know. Don't listen to me. And then I have a polka dot begonia right here that I just got from Walmart. I've been looking all over and I really wanted one. I know they had the trending tropicals out at Lowe's and Home Depot, and I really wanted to get one, but I never saw them in stores, and obviously right now I'm not going to go looking for one, so I ordered this one online from Walmart along with the Boston Fern. And then I have another little Pilea here, the same kind that's in my office, and an arrowhead plant that I keep forgetting to water, so that's why there's so many like yellow leaves. Another fern. I think this one's it's like a button fern. What's it called? Something button. Lemon button fern. Lemon button fern. And a poinsettia from Christmas that I haven't killed yet, so it gets to stay. An umbrella plant. I'm pretty sure this is called an umbrella plant or something. It's a Schefflera. Moondrop, Schefflera arboricola. So I think the nickname for that is like an umbrella plant or something. And then I have a little fiddle leaf fig from the trending tropicals. I have another polka dot plant that's more red than the other one. Another Photonia. And a cactus in a planter with no drainage hole because I'm an idiot. But I planted this one in here when I first started, and I just love this planter. It's so cute. It came from like TJ Maxx or something. I didn't know a lot about plants, so I planted this cactus in this pot without anything. Like there's no little, there's no nursery pot in there. It's just a cactus inside a planter with no drainage holes. So I'm very, very careful about watering until I can take it out and maybe put it in a plastic pot or something so I can just sit it in there instead. So I don't water it very often. And then in the little cloche thingy, I have the cuttings that I took from my polka dot plant that I rooted in water. I propagated them, and the roots are like 6 inches long. So I planted them. We'll see how they do. I know they like some humidity, so put them in there and see what happens. And then if we walk this way, I'll show you the couch first too. I'm really proud of it, but I like the way the the pillows look. Love these little pillowcases from Amazon. But anyway, moving on to the bedroom. This is our bedroom. This kind of doubles as a house tour too, because I never showed anybody the house. And then we have our new deck outside. It's not done yet, but it will be soon. And then the bureau, the TV. So over here, I just have a little Norfolk Island pine that is surviving from Christmas. It's actually, it seems to be doing pretty well. I think I have some like new growth coming in over here on this little end of these branches. So that's cool. We'll see. He gets to stay for now. And then I have this little ZZ plant. I also have a ZZ Raven in the bathroom. It's the same thing, but it's just really, really, really dark green. Like it looks black. But when the new growth comes in, it's green. So there's my little ZZ plant that's also in a planter with no drainage. I mean, at least it has rocks at the bottom, which if you know about the perched water table, you know that doesn't really matter. So I'm really careful about watering this one as well. And ZZ plants don't really need that much water. And then another poinsettia that survived from Christmas. So he's here too. So that's it. That is my plant tour. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it. That's it. I don't know. Maybe I'll do some more care in the future. I would really like to do more plant videos because as you can see, I can really, really talk about plants. All right. Well, I will see you in the next video, I guess. Bye.